Hello everybody, Josh12 back here again with another video, and I'm here to review The Flash Season 2, Episode 10, titled Potential Energy. Now, of course, if you haven't seen this episode, please go check it out because this review may contain spoilers. But that being said, let's get into the return of The Flash. Now, when it comes to this particular episode, I wasn't really looking forward to it. I mean, like, I'm a hardcore Flash fan, especially I'm just a gigantic fan over what the CW's done with the character and the mythos of the Flash thus far. I mean, let's just face it. I mean, everything that CW touches when it comes to DC-related content is always awesome and really badass. And, of course, today is the creme de la creme of DC content. I mean, we got the Return of the Flash, which just ended. We have this Legends of Tomorrow special, which is currently playing right now. And then, of course, after that, later tonight, we have the DC Films Present special, which I'm really anticipated to see. And then even outside of DC, we got the Marvel Captain America special over at ABC, which I'm recording. Let's put it out there. I'm recording everything. I'm recording everything that's superhero comic book related that's going on tonight. I'm recording it all. So tonight's going to be a busy fucking night. But with that being said, The Flash itself was something I wasn't really anticipating because as much as I love The Flash and I love Season 2, I think Season 2 has been it's taken off and it's very entertaining and fun. But the story didn't interest me because, let's put it out there, this synopsis of this episode is basically Barry dealing with the fact that he wants to tell Patty, his current love interest, whether or not, he's the Flash. That's basically it. Like, he's just, contemplating, like, should I tell her, shouldn't I tell her? Everybody has various opinions on the whole matter. For me, I like the idea of superheroes given this ultimatum whether or not they have to tell their secret identity. And it even outside of superhero-dom, in all of fictional stories, they're interesting stories that are very compelling and it makes you really side with said protagonist character. But my problem with the CW and how they handle it, they just don't know how to handle secret identities that well. I don't think they've really perfected it. And when you handle the story of a secret identity and whether or not a protagonist can tell said secret identity to the person that they care about or whoever they're trying to deal with in said, episode or storyline, it ends one of two ways. It's either really great or really bad. CW always does the same bullshit where it's just, it's going to end up very well. I mean, like, let's face facts. I mean, Patty Spivot, the second she fucking finds out, like, of course, this is my preconceived notions before getting the episode. Hell, even in the episode, okay, Patty, Barry, he's gonna deal with this, then she's gonna almost die, but not really because it's CW and it's PG, so, she's not really gonna get fucked over, and then she's gonna be all, all clingy, and then Barry's gonna be like, I am the Flash, and then she's gonna be like, oh my god, I can't believe you fucking held this for so long, and then, 2 hours later, she's working at Star Labs like every other fucking bitch and asshole in fucking Starling and fucking Central City. It's just, that's how I feel like it was gonna go down. However, I think the cool thing about this episode is that they flipped it and they were like, yeah, we know we're kind of known for doing that and we kind of fuck up with secret identities to a certain extent, but you know what? This is what we're gonna do. Patty, you like her or you don't like her, fuck it. It doesn't matter. She's fucking gone. She's gonna leave. So that's pretty much a way to not have to deal with the fact that Barry is dealing with how he should treat his secret life and his superhero life and his normal life as a forensic scientist in Central City, PD. So I felt like that was really interesting in how they flipped it. And I really like that because as the episode continues to go on and you're dealing with this new metahuman, and not to mention the various subplots with Cisco and Harrison Wells working with Zoom, wink wink, and then of course you have, the Wally Joe stuff, but at the core, the Patty Barry stuff is the frontliner. It's the fucking spotlight of the episode. And I feel like them approaching it this way instead of the normal way they do it, like on Arrow, where it's like, like everyone doesn't know the lie. But then the second everybody does know the lie, we're a part of Team Arrow all of a sudden. Fucking that chick is Black Canary. The other chick is fucking Speedy or Red Arrow, or whatever the fuck she wants to call herself. And God knows who the fuck else. The tech guy, he's probably going to be, something too. That's the main problem that CW continues to do, and I feel like they definitely flipped it on its head, and they did a great job with this episode when it comes to that specific storyline. But moving off of that and getting to the various subplots, I think the thing that's the specific subplot that stands to mind has to be the Joe Wally stuff. I mean, granted, they definitely kind of went off the rails there for a second. I have to be honest. I mean, granted, Wally, you didn't really know where he was going to come from with this episode, like, because with the mid-season finale, we found out that he was alive, he existed, then he came up and he was like, I'm Wally. Okay, I'm gonna go inside and enjoy Christmas with you, I guess. And then that was it. This episode, we find out he's kind of an asshole, he's kind of a prick, he doesn't really want anything to do with Joe or Iris's, I guess, lifestyle, or like their love and compassion, getting to know each other. He doesn't want to be a part of that. And I feel like, as much as it was interesting to see Joe and Wally's back and forth, the thing that pisses me off about this episode and the way they treated it is that, I want to know some motherfucker out there who did not have Fant Four Stick in the back of their head when they were watching the Joe Wally stuff. Hear me out on this. They're a black family, okay? It's pretty fucking obvious. They're a black family, yet the last time we just saw a black-orientated family on the big screen was Fant Four Stick. Ironically enough, in both Fant Four Stick and in this fucking episode, it's essentially the same thing. They did the same fucking storyline of Fant Four Stick onto this episode. It's like he's a fucking underground race car driver. He's kind of an asshole. He has a terrible relationship with his father. His father's kind of a douche, and he has this form of power that he works with. And you already know that character one day is going to become a superhero character because it's Wally West. He's the future Flash or whatever the fuck, or Kid Flash, whatever way you want to go with it. And it's like, did they did it on purpose, or did they just do it just to do it? Because it felt like when you watch the crossovers with the Arrow and Flash this season before the mid-season finale, it felt like the same thing. Like, they did the farm thing from Age of Ultron, and it's like, I know they referenced it, but it was like, why is CW continuously referencing and recycling bad shit? Like, why take the stupid nonsense of the big Marvel movies and put it into the TV show? Like, that Age of Ultron whole Hawkeye farmhouse thing was stupid. Like, the movie's cool and all, and it's awesome, and there's a lot of really great shit in it, but that farmhouse sequences was ridiculous, and I don't think they technically needed that for the crossovers. And the same thing with this episode. I mean, did we really need another, quote-unquote fucking African-American male lead character who's going to become a superhero character at some point in this storyline, inevitably be another underground, freaking fast driving, freaking race car driver? Like, we didn't really need that. It's just stupid recycling of terrible shit that we just saw. So, I don't know why they keep doing it, but even disregarding the dumb Fant Four Stick stuff, I liked the Joe Wally stuff, and I liked how they ended it with it, and I liked how Wally was so not into Joe, was so not into Iris, and he was just like, okay, I don't really care about any of this shit, I'm gonna go back to Keystone City or whatever. I liked that stuff. I liked how they approached it, and I liked how they ended off with it, and I'm very, very interested to see how that story continues on. But moving off of that, the main meta-human of the day, of course, is Cisco calls him the Turtle. Ironically enough, the thing that interests me about the Turtle in this episode, the main bad guy, if you will, the main bad guy, I think the main thing that interests me is that he's more like Zoom than the actual Zoom we have in this episode. For those of you who don't know, the Turtle has the ability to essentially slow down time so he seems faster. And essentially, that's the basis of the Speed Force, or the abilities that Zoom has in the comic books. Because for those of you who don't know, who are just CW watchers and not hardcore fanboys of the comic books, essentially Zoom is more like the Turtle in the comic books than he is in the TV. In the TV show, he's kind of like this monster demon, speed demon, who's just obsessed with power, and he's just taking all the speedster Speed Force. But in the comic books, he's more of a Flash obsessor, which is kind of like where they're kind of going with it in future episodes of the story, because, Zoom is like obsessed with beating the Flash. He wants to be the Flash or whatever the fuck. But that's how he is in the comic books. He's obsessed with the Flash. He wants to be the Flash. He wants the Flash to be better. He wants him to be great. He wants him to be a specific kind of superhero that he thinks is great in his head. And I think the cool thing is about that is that they're starting to incorporate that in the show. And I also like how in the comic books, Zoom has the ability, he's not specifically faster than Wally or the Flash, but he he morphs the universe that's in he morphs his surroundings around him, and he basically moves faster by doing so, but he's not actually moving faster than Wall-E. He's just making it seem like he's faster than Wall-E, which is why it's so odd and stupid. I know it's very hard to explain, but the way that they did with the turtle in this episode is essentially the gist of Zoom's power in the comic books, which I thought was a very interesting flip side. But overall, the turtle, I thought he was granted, there's no real depth to him, so it doesn't really matter. The point of his character was just to be like, oh, here's another metahuman just to be there. So there's not really anything to throw out there. But back to the Barry Patty stuff. Once again, very interesting stuff. I mean, I was never a really big fan of the Barry Patty relationship. I know there's a hardcore fan base for Patty, and that's great. And the actress, she's beautiful and she's a great actress, but I didn't really care about the Barry Patty stuff, to be honest. I didn't really give a shit from the very beginning. So now that it's finally over, and spoilers, it is over. She's gone. She's leaving. Granted, we don't know if she's going to come back or if she's going to be gone forever. Who the fuck knows? But we'll have to find out. But as it stands, her being gone and leaving, I don't really care. It doesn't really affect me. So on that front, this episode was pretty decent. I was going into it giving it a 6. Like, as the episode was going, I was like, this is like an average episode. I'm going to give it like a 6. As it stands, after watching the whole thing, it's a solid 7 out of 10. That's my final verdict for this episode. So at the end of the day, 7 out of 10. But moving off of my final verdict, we got a post-title sequence, if you will. And man, is it badass. And I can't wait for next week's episode. The Reverse Flash is back. Why? What is he going to do? Is he evil still? Is he going to try and kill everybody? Is he going to team up with Zoom? What the hell is going to happen? I don't know, but I am fucking excited. I want to see what happens. But yeah, the Reverse Flash is back. If there's one thing I hope they don't do, is make him a good guy. I don't want to fucking see that. I want Zoom to be completely evil the way he was in Season 1, because Season 1 was boss. But with that being said and done, comment below. Let me know what you personally thought about this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What are your personal thoughts on what I had to say? And of course, what are your personal opinions on DC Week? Is it starting off well? And of course, as soon as I post this, I'll be doing reviews for the DC Films Present stuff. I'm going to do a review, obviously, for the Suicide Squad trailer and whatever stuff and or footage they show on that special. So just be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a busy freaking night for me, so stay tuned to my channel. But that being said, shameless plug time. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, @Jonch12. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and this has been Jonch12.